Hello, my name is Brooke Pickett, and I am in veterinary science at MVCTC, and this is my senior capstone exhibit. The title of my project is Food Preferences in Domestic Cats. And so cats tend to retain their food preferences over their lifetime, but some variables could affect these choices. So sex, age, and body weight of the cat, as well as the time of year. Cats choose their diets based on smell, taste, temperature, and texture up to the point of self-regulating their own diet. And then this is important to understand the relationship that your cat has with food, with their diet preference, because this could really help in the improvement of specific pet diets. Domestic cats display feeding behavior that comes from their own nutritional requirements, which are associated with their carnivorous physiology. So high levels of crude protein as well as specific amino acids such as arginine and taurine, vitamins A, D, and complex B are all necessary for that nutrition. And so for my introduction to this project, what I did, I am going to test this research of a domestic cat's food preferences to determine whether cats truly prefer foods or treats with more crude protein and fat content in them. So I own one 5-year-old male cat who will be helping me conduct my research. I have 4 different kinds of treats with varying amounts of crude protein, fats, fibers, and moisture. I will conduct 3 separate trials daily for a period of 7 days by giving my cat a choice between all 4 treats and recording the data. We will see which one my cat prefers and compare to the crude protein and fat content in them. And so this is the variety I use to conduct my research. I have 4 different kinds of treats. I just have them labeled treat number 1, 2, 3, and 4 because we don't want to focus on the brand names or the flavors. We want to focus on the ingredients in the treats. So I can continue with that. And then so treat number 1, I have a pie chart here labeling the crude protein and crude fat. That is what's most important. I also have the crude fiber and moisture, but we're just going to ignore that for now. So just take note of treat number 1. It has 28% crude protein and 21% crude fat in it. And then treat number 2 has a 12.5% crude protein content and it has a 9% crude fat content in it. And then treat number 3 has 27% crude protein, almost as much as treat number 1, but not quite. And then it has a 12% crude fat content on that one. And then treat number 4, as you can see, this was a wet food kind of treat because it has so much, it has 90% moisture, more than the other ones. But then for the crude protein, we have 8%, and for the crude fat, we have 0.01%. So this is the treat with the least fat percentage in it. And so to go on to my cat preference data, in conclusion, our 4 pie charts tell us that treat number 1 did have the highest percentage of crude protein and crude fat more than any other treat option. However, does the cat prefer the treat with a higher amount of crude protein and fat? Yes, and we can go to the results here. And so as the results say, treat number 1 has the highest amount of crude protein and crude fat out of all of the choices, and the cat chose it 19 out of 21 times. Here we just have some of the data from my trials from all 7 days. It just shows the 3 different trials and then which treat was chosen. So as you can see, treat number 1 was chosen 19 out of 21 times. And in conclusion, treat number 1 with 28% crude protein and 21% crude fat, the highest percentages of all, was the most commonly picked for the cat, being chosen 19 times out of 21. In conclusion, cats do prefer foods with a higher level of crude protein and crude fat.